Good morning, XFL fans. Welcome back to the XFL Fan Zone. How you doing today? Yes, I am wearing my Battlehawks jersey with old school XFL hat. Uh, let's get right to it, to the news of the week. First of all, our stars of the week. For the special teams, Marquette King of St. Louis, the punter, he was absolutely booing them. He was a silent weapon for the Battlehawks upset win against Dallas at home. On the defense, my guy from the Guardians, linebacker Bummy Rotini Jr. of New York. 9 tackles, 1 sack, 2 quarterback hits, 2 tackles for a loss, and a forced fumble. And of course, the star of the week, no surprise, PJ Walker of the Roughnecks. He was just unbelievable in that run and shoot offense. 23 of 39, 272 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Only 1 pick, 26 yards rushing, and 103.8 quarterback rating. We could have made the case for Cardell Jones also, but boy, I had no problem with Cardell Jones being the star of the week either. He was just awesome. Let's see. Today, let's see. I got this from the New York Guardians. Thank you for your support as a founding ticket member for the New York Guardians. Encloses a gift we hope you find useful addition to your game day experience for you and your guests. On behalf of the XFL and the New York Guardians, welcome to our team. Janet Duke, the president of the New York Guardians. Now, I'm assuming that the same as like MetLife, they have a clear bag policy. If you want to bring stuff into the game, even food or drink, you can do it in a clear bag. So the Guardians today sent me 2 of these. It is a clear bag with the logo on it. There's nothing fancy. It's not really expensive, but you don't need much. I mean, if you got it for free, so can't complain. So if you're not one of those people that hates spending about $40 for a hot dog, a beer, and a little popcorn, well, you can bring your own food in. Now, there's stipulations with the food and drink. Bottles of water and soda have to be sealed. It can't be a broken seal. You cannot use reusable water bottles. That's my phone won't shut up. And everything has to be in that bag. You can do that, you're good to go. Now the bags aren't that big. How much can you eat at a game? I don't know. But or at least if you want to cut down the amount you spend there, well, maybe you like certain items you want to eat there, but you don't want to spend a lot of money either. In case you get hungry again, there's a bag, throw your food in there, and you're good to go. The other thing is, if you're diabetic, I've been thought about this too, or your kid requires an EpiPen, you can put it in there also. We all have our medical issues. It is what it is, but hey, the Guardians are being very accommodating. So is the XL. They said this is the game's about the fans and giving the game back to the fans. This is a great way. I mean, is it a huge thing? No, but it's something that they're thinking about us. This is something I didn't even think about. I mean, I own a clear bag already, but they sent me one anyway. That's pretty awesome. Now let's get to the team rankings for week 1. Now it's only week 1, so take this for what it is. This could change easily by next week. So if you're on the bottom, that could change. So number 8, the LA Wildcats. Now on top of the end of the first half meltdown and the total meltdown in the second half, we saw Winston Moss in his press conference have a meltdown. Basically threw a lot of his staff underneath the bus. He fired his defensive coordinator Pepper Johnson. He fired his defensive captain Anthony Johnson. So I don't know what's going on there. I guess he's going to be calling defense this week. And what if his defense sucks against the Dallas Renegades? Is he going to fire himself? Is he going to hire Pepper Johnson back? Is he going to promote his line coach to defensive coordinator? What's next? So I don't like to see what's coming out of LA right now. Like I said, I was big into Winston Moss because he has that Miami swagger personality. It fits LA pretty good. They're a big event town, but he seems to be having a hard time being the headband of a football team. Unless he's trying to do what Mike Singletary did with the 49ers and make a statement where you're not going to show up and play like that again. But why fire Pepper Johnson? Their special teams was much worse than the defense was. The defense got tired. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Number 7. I am going to go with the Tampa Bay Vipers. Now, the Vipers didn't do so bad. I think they had the most yards on offense for the week, and they gave up the fewest amount of yards on defense. But because of the multiple turnovers and sacks they gave up, they ended up losing by 20 points. Give credit to the Guardians for capitalizing on their mistakes. That's what good teams do. Matt McGloin in the offense was efficient. The defense was bend but don't break. Coming at number 7, the Seattle Dragons, who were rated as the worst talent by DraftKings and by Las Vegas. I don't buy into any of this stuff because, again, phase drafting, they all drafted the same type of player at the same time. It seems to be more a knock against the coach and GM more than anything else. But the Dragons played very well. Did they make some mistakes? Yeah, all teams make mistakes. Silvers had a couple touchdowns, a fumble at the end which killed them. They took points off the board to go for 6, where I would have taken the field goal and kicked off and try to stop them and score that way. But the Dragons for 3 quarters did very well. Number 5, the Dallas Renegades. Dallas was the favorite to win it all this year, them in Tampa Bay, and they looked like a team who needs Landry Jones back right away. That St. Louis defense was stifling. They were unbelievable. They kept saying the Battlehawk defense was going to be the heart and soul of that team, and it was against the Renegades. Despite the fact that Philip Nelson completed 3 passes, he only passed for 209 yards, so they didn't get nothing deep. The run game wasn't there. They made him do a short passing game, and the Renegades made some mistakes also. But credit to St. Louis, they did the job. Jordan Tormu, their rookie quarterback, looked like a veteran, poised guy, and managed the game very well. Number 4, my beloved New York Guardians. Again, they were a bend and not break team. They gave a lot of yards on offense, but no one scored upon them, and he got 3 turnovers and returned 1 for a fumble, 6 touchdown. The offense was not great either. They're still missing a couple of their wide receivers, but there's a lot of talent on that team. Matt McGloin did look good. They did what they had to do. 1-0 Guardians. And so they're my number 14. Number 3, the St. Louis Battlehawks. They go on the road. They're the only road team that wins against the favorite to win it all. That was something. Enough said there. Jordan Tormu, again, looked great as a rookie quarterback. St. Louis is your number 3 team. Number 2, your DC Defenders. Cardale Jones looked great in that offense. That offense was fun to watch. You wait till Rashard Ross is a couple more weeks in that system. He's going to be something, but they got a lot of receivers. They have a few backs on that team that are real good. And the DC Defender team, again, like the Guardians, was bend but don't break. They did manage to drive down the field, but they always came up with a big turnover, the block punt. So your DC Defenders are your number 2 team. And finally, number 1, no doubt, your Houston Roughnecks. They were awesome this week. On the defensive side, which I was surprised at, they had a big defensive line. They kept Charlie Caniff at bay in the second half. They couldn't score. They didn't score at all. And P.J. Walker, now run a shoot offense, was just awesome. So there are your top 8 teams. Again, this can easily change next week. It's only week 1. Week 2 will be here before you know it in 3 days. Yes. Let's talk about this week's games briefly. We're going to talk about the attendance. We'll do the rundown of the games on Friday. Rumor is that the Seattle attendance is already up to $30,000 and could go up to as much as $35,000 for the home opener, which would break any record by any AAF team last year, including the San Antonio Commanders. So you look at the possibility of $35,000 being at Century League Field. That is a good job by you Dragon fans. Keep it up. Show me your love. And the rumor is that the St. Louis Battlehawks are up to $28,000 right now, and they opened up some more seats, so we could see $30,000 for them also, which would be good. Now, I did see someone post online in Houston that the ticket sales for this week's home game against the Battlehawks are down significantly from last week. Houston, come on, let's step it up. Your team gave you a big win. PJ Walker looks great. Show your team some love. And finally, there's a rumor saying that the XFL Championship will be held at TDECU Stadium in Houston. Now, all kinds of reports around the XFL themselves have not announced it yet. No reason to doubt the reports, but until the XFL does it themselves, we'll take it for what it is. Now, you've known my view on this for a while. I want the best team with the best record to have the home field. I think it's important in the first year of the league to make this XFL Championship look great in television, have close to a sell as much as possible, and I would give the better team. Now, if you're saying that's not fair, well, no, I think it is fair. Only 8 teams in the league. All 8 teams play each other. If they finish tied with the best record, well, guess what? The team who won their regular season game gets the home field advantage. Make the regular season mean even more. Make these interconference games bigger. That would be a great way to do it. Now, as far as as far as the neutral venue itself, do I have a problem with TDEC? If I had my choice for a neutral site, I want the XFL cities, it would have been Audi Field in DC. The stadium only holds 18,000. There's 6 million people in that metro area, and it'd be a lot easier to sell out that game. A lot easier to sell out that game as opposed to 40,000 at the TDECU Stadium. But that stadium is a good second choice if you ask me, because it is a small stadium, only holds 40. Because it's going to be held in Houston, I'm definitely going to be rooting hard for Houston to make it to the championship game because I want a full stadium for the championship game. I want to look good on television. I want the league to make as much revenue as possible. Even if they play my Guardians, I want them in it because, for me, long term, I want this league to survive. If my Guardians would hypothetically win the championship this year and the league goes belly up, well, listen, it doesn't accomplish anything. I want the league to last, so I'm going to be. If this is true, I am going to root hard for Houston to make it to the championship game. In fact, they are my West team right now. I want them to be there. Another good option would have been the Dome of America Center, for the simple fact it's in the middle of the country, Central Time Zone, and it's inside of a dome. So I think the atmosphere would be loud, but. Just my thoughts. To me, what you think. We're going to be back Friday to discuss this Saturday and Sunday's games. Folks, I got to go. We'll talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of the day.